Hello my friends, how are you? This is for the Kestrels and the Eagles. I have your answers to the test for Say It With Symbols. So do a good job on the aftermath. A lot of you are behind on your aftermath, so I really think it's a good idea for you to get on top of stuff and try and get that finished. So here, I'm trying to get my pen going here. So here are the correct answers. Make sure you show your work, again, as always, and come for extra help if you need it. So 1A, the correct answer is 6M. A lot of you had difficulty not distributing your negatives, so be sure that you do that. Letter B, the correct answer is 450 minus 23A plus 13B. And hang on a second. Okay, so we're back here, and here are your continuing on with your correct answers. Letter C is 33 minus 8x. Letter D is 2x squared plus 5x minus 12. Solving linear equations. A lot of you got confused with letter B because there were two parentheses, and so you assumed that this was quadratic, but notice there's a plus sign in between, so that makes it non-quadratic. So again, for these, all you're trying to do is get all of the variables on one side and all the numbers on the other. So for letter A, this one was fairly straightforward. A should be negative 2. For letter B, you should get m is equal to negative 5 over 2. That's the negative 20 over 8. Many of you got 20 over 8. That was just fine. Make sure you simplify. If you need help with that one, please come see me. Letter C, the correct answer is, I think, negative 5. Yes, t is equal to negative 5. Then for letter D, the idea is to take the negative 5 and plug it in everywhere you see a t, and then you would simplify both sides. At the very end, you should have come up with negative 34 is equal to negative 34, showing that you have the correct answer. Some of you had wrong things here, and therefore if it's wrong things, what that tells you is that you had a wrong answer here. So some of you, I gave you full credit for this because you had a wrong answer, but you lost credit over here. Number 3, the correct answers are negative 4 and 2/3. Letter B was a GCF. See the GCF there, my friends? A lot of you said x minus 3x plus 3, but that's not so because that's a 9x. So you need to pull out the x to get an x plus 9, and so your two answers would be 0 and negative 9. This one factors very nicely, so x would be 5 and negative 4. Check very carefully that you can factor those, my friends. Okay, this one was interesting. A lot of you got the fact that this was a half of a circle. So if the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, then this is half of that, which would be pi r. And then you have an r here, a 2r here, and another r here. So r plus 2r plus r is 4r plus pi r. So when I did it without even looking at the choices, I got 4r plus pi r. So there's B. Then the idea is to look at something that's equivalent, and that would be letter E. So those are the two answers. For all of these, this one has a full circle, which is incorrect. This one has only two r's, two r's here, but you forgot these two. Same thing here. What else did I want to say? Oh, somebody had an explanation about how what you can see there is 4 r's, 2 r, and r, which is not really correct, so I think I took off a half a point. It's more important to think about the fact that because that's the radius, this is also the radius. So it's not because that's what you can see. So be careful about that explanation. Number 5, this one actually went fairly well. From here to here, she used distribution. From here to here, she used combining like terms. I'm okay if you didn't use sentences for these two, because it's math stuff. What was the solution? Well, you have a false statement here. Negative 10 is never equal to 3, so there is no variable, no value for the variable to make that true. So the answer would be no solution. Okay, you have the two jobs. A lot of people made a table for this to figure out when they would be the same. That was totally fine if you did that. The other way to do it is to say for job A, you start with $25,000, then you get $1,000 per year, and the other one you start with $22,000, and you get $2,000 per year. When will they be the same? That's when they're equal, so you can solve that. So you get 3,000 equals 1,000y, so y equals 3. So after 3 years. Now the interesting thing was some of you said the 4 years, which is true. If you think about this as being the first year, the 25,000 and 22,000 being the first year, then it would be 3 years after that, which would be in the 4th year. So I looked very carefully at your work and gave full credit for any of those, so worry not about that issue. Okay, the big television video game problem. In each of these, let's see, 200 stands for the fixed expenses or something like that. The 16 is the cost to produce each video, and the $20 is the the cost when selling each video. If the company makes 10 videos, how much profit will they make or loss? Many of you calculated this very nicely. So the expenses would be 200 plus 16 times 10, that's $360. The income would be 20 times 10, which is $200. So if your expenses are more than your income, then you're losing $160. So you have to explain in some way, shape, or form that the expenses were higher than the income, and that's why. Right, and simplify the equation. This was hard for some of you. Remember that profit is income minus expenses. And the problem is there are two terms in your expenses. So you needed to do 20x minus parentheses 200 plus 16x. So distribute the negative, my friends. So when you simplify, it looks like this. So P then would be, that's not a 200. How did I get a 200 out of that? I'm terribly sorry. That's strange. There we go. Is that a 20? Yeah, okay, good. So 20x minus 16x is 4x minus 200. Profit of 180, so 180 would equal 4x minus 200. When you solve that, and of course you'll show your work, you should get, I think it is 95 videos. Let me check and see. Yes, 95 videos. And of course you will answer in a complete sentence. Break even means the profit is 0. So you'd put that in your equation. And when you solve that, x equals 50 videos. Oops, sorry, not very neat, is it? Let me try that again. Okay, so that would be 50 videos. Okay. If you have any difficulties with those problems, please let me know. I was really quite pleased. You guys did a great job on this. Few details to take care of. If you have any trouble, just let me know and I can help you. See you later.